Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dirty 30s. It is I, Josh, and I'm a little under the weather tonight. Got a little cold going on, a little sniffles. So I'm going to drink some tea and do some talking. I got some things I want to talk about tonight. So, Brandon, are you? At least you won't get sick. That's the beauty of doing these podcasts or video casts, is you can't get my germs over the internet, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean I've gotten enough of your germs over the years to be immune at this point, I guess. Working with you closely, I'm not talking about anything filthy, or anything like that. But hey, man, I hope you feel better. It seems like you're always getting sick. Like
the industries I work in, there's a lot of germs around.
And I don't think you get enough sleep. Yeah, these are late night things. Either it's playing music, it's working, wherever you're working. They're late nights.
Late nights, hard living, man. I got to keep the immune system up. But yeah, just little sniffles will be all right. So I want to get talking about tonight. I got some things I want to talk about. I want to talk about this Ice Bucket challenge that's sweeping the nation. I want to talk about tomorrow night's re-release of Ghostbusters in the theaters.
Right on.
And I want to talk about the big one, and that is next Monday's premiere TV movie of Saved by the Bell. So let's get after it.
Unauthorized. That's right.
Yeah.
All three things I'm happy to talk about.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Ice Bucket Challenge first, and it's only because it came to mind because you did one. I noticed you did. I have not done one.
You were challenged by our good friend Jeff. He challenged you, did he not?
Yeah, he did. Jeff, who's been on this show, one of the earlier episodes, go back check it out. He challenged me, and I know what it is. And I guess I pay attention to pop culture enough to figure it all out, but I could really give a shit. So let's talk about your challenge. You did one, and you didn't challenge me, which I was kind of surprised that you didn't call me out in yours. But who did you call out? Or first of all, who challenged you, and walk me through this whole thing?
First person challenged me was Alex. Both, you and I know he's been on the show, and he challenged me on, I think it was Sunday or something like that, and we were on the road, just getting back from our vacation. I was driving all over the East Coast. Wasn't able to do it right then, and then I think it was either later that day or the same, or maybe it was the next day. My buddy Nate, who you've met, also challenged me, and then that evening, Sam, who you know from Last Night Out, husband of Aviva, who was Renee in Last Night Out, and he was also an extra in the movie. He challenged me as well. So the first one I got, from Alex, I was like, man, screw this. You don't tell me how to donate my money. I'm going to donate my money to whoever I want to donate. I'm not going to do it because everybody's doing it or whatever. And then the second one came in, and then the third one came in. I was like, all right, it's for a good cause. I don't know. After 3, I feel like it's hard to ignore it, and I can't just be like, "Oh, I didn't see that. Excuse me, I didn't see you, but I saw it, so I did it."
And who did you challenge in yours?
I challenged Mr. Belding. I challenged Tootie from Facts of Life, and I challenged Spuds McKenzie, who's probably dead. I mean, he was like 20 years old back in 1986, so he's definitely dead. He's a dog.
Yeah. But, and he wouldn't mind, because he used to kick it by the pool anyways. So.
Oh, he's a laid-back dog, man. He's got his aviators on and a lei around his neck. You dump a bucket of ice water on him, he'd say, "Good, I was hot. Lay off. I'm a dog." Yeah, because I didn't want to challenge anybody else because I didn't want to put anyone through the if you haven't been challenged by now, it's it might not happen. So you're in the clear, I think.
Yeah, I think if you haven't done it by now, you're good. Everyone's forgotten about it. But how did it? I guess I didn't care enough. How did it come about? Why is ice water being dumped on your head good for Lou Gehrig's disease?
Well, it's only good for it in that it's raising awareness for it. I think what someone said it, and I don't know how true this is, but they were saying that the shock of dumping the ice-cold water on your body is akin to what the people with ALS feel on a daily basis. So it's like kind of mocking that. I don't know how true that is. That's something I heard from an unreliable source. But
So your 3 seconds to 15 seconds, 30 seconds of discomfort is supposed to remind you of what these people go through every single day.
possibly,
Okay.
but I truly I truly think that it was something that um, it's like, okay, hey, you donate money or dump a bucket of ice on your head. And then like, okay, well, I'll dump a bucket of ice on my head, but I'm gonna challenge someone else to do it. And then it just kind of spread like that, and it became like the cool thing to do. And like part of me was like, oh, this is stupid, you know, because you scroll through. Like I don't check Facebook that often, but when I do, it's like video after video after video. And I was like, hey, like I wanted to hate it because it's like, oh, this is so lame, you know, everybody's doing it now. And but then it was like, oh my God, they've raised like, I think last time I heard it was like they've raised $9 million for Lou Gehrig's disease. So you know, it's kind of hard to get mad about that. It's like, okay, it's raising money, it's for a good cause, why not?
You know what's ironic about that $9 million? That's more money than Lou Gehrig actually ever made during his
In his
baseball
career.
career. Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. And they were playing for like a lot of those guys had second jobs back then, right?
Yeah.
They would play baseball in the summers and then they like haul rocks or something. I don't know what they would do back then, but
All right, so the ice bucket challenge. Now, the only time I cared is I saw what do you call them? The little meme. I saw a little meme picture,
oh yeah,
and presumably it was a little kid.
I know which one you're talking
Presumably,
about.
like, yeah, from a third world country,
Hmm.
and he had a very wide-eyed expression on his face, and the meme was something along the lines of, "Let me get this straight. You're dumping perfectly clean water over your head." You know, and it's supposed to be the whole point of like, there's so many people that don't even have clean water in the world, and
Right.
yet us Americans are just dumping it on our heads in order to raise awareness. Because how many people actually donated money once they did this challenge? That's what I wonder.
Well, I think enough to raise $9 million, right? But I think the I saw that picture you were saying. It was like the little guy saying, "Let me get this straight. You're dumping perfectly clean, drinkable water over your head to avoid giving money to charity." Because I think it was like you either donate or you dump the bucket on your head. So I think a lot of people are in fact donating and dumping on their head, you know, and like I gave a very little amount, but I figure it's better than nothing because it's like ALS isn't something that I'm personally connected to, so it's not in my normal my normal thought process of the ones that I like for me, like Parkinson's research, you know, I had that in my family. I
Michael J. Fox is not related to you.
He is not, but my grandfather is, so
Alright.
eat a dick. Um, sorry for saying to eat a dick, but
Yeah.
you called me out improperly. No, but like I, you know, I wouldn't just out of the blue have donated anything to, you know that wasn't something that was on, you know, in my stream of consciousness before this event. So it's like, as cheesy as it is, as crazy as it is, it is doing good, right?
I don't know. I mean, I just see it everywhere. I hope I hope that money is getting raised, and I hope that money is going to the charity and all that good stuff. I'm not trying to be a no fun person on this whole thing. I just didn't care when I first saw it, and then when
I
I
think
saw
those
the
are,
meme.
yeah,
Now,
those are valid questions to ask, I think.
now I see Matt Damon did his, but he did his with toilet water in
Or
order,
toilet water,
because
yeah.
he's part of the huge group that does the whole clean water for third world countries and stuff. So like that
Right.
started making sense, and so. I think that the irony would be that if researchers found out that one of the leading cause of Lou Gehrig's disease was being doused in ice water. I think that would be ironic.
That would be a fine Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, so I hope they raised lots of money for the cause, and I don't know. I doubt I will do one. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see in the next few weeks what the next craze of raising awareness will be on the Facebooks and the interwebs. I don't know.
I predict there's going to be a lot of failed ones. There's going to be someone who's like, oh, you know, I really want awareness for, you know, my particular brand of disease that I'm really interested in. So let's do a thing. Let's challenge celebrities to you know, hold their breath for as long as they can, or donate $1,000, and it's gonna people will be, that's the unfortunate thing is, this is doing a really good thing in raising awareness for something, and the next one is going to completely bomb because they're going to try to emulate it, and it's not going to go well. I have a very strong feeling.
I'm going to make a prediction right now on today. Today's August 27th, 2014. I'm going to predict by October, which is a very huge month in the charity awareness world, that there will be dumping ice buckets or jumping in cold water in white T-shirts. So that's my prediction. You're probably asking, what the fuck is he talking about? It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and just wearing pink shoes and gloves and towels in the NFL is not enough anymore. They need to raise more money. So I bet you it's going to be white T-shirts and buckets, and it's going to be like all the athletes are going to do it first.
We'll see.
That's my prediction. We'll see what happens.
We'll bookmark this episode and see what happens.
All right, so moving on, bigger and better things. I just realized today that tomorrow night, Thursday at midnight, they're re-releasing the 1984 classic Ghostbusters in theaters for a short run. Were you aware of this, and are you going to go see it?
I was aware of this. No, I'm not going to see it because I own it. I own it on VHS, DVD. I don't have the Blu-ray, but I'm sure, my birthday's coming up. Who knows? Like, I don't know. I saw the movie theaters the first time. I bet
you have kids. I did see it in movie theaters the first time. How do you not take your kids to go see in the movie theater?
To a midnight showing?
It's all weekend in the theater.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it all weekend?
It's all weekend long.
I don't know, man. Popcorn is like $20. Tickets are like $40. Keep going. Pop, it cost them 10 cents. They charge us $8. That's a lot of dough. You know what? I could buy the extended Blu-ray edition for all that money, and then we could sit in our home, and I could pause it and teach them stuff about Ghostbusters and the just the canon of.
And the most important question, if anyone ever asks you if you're the keymaster, what do you say?
You say, yes! Nope. That's Ernie Hudson saying that to Gozer. You say, are you the gatekeeper?
There you go.
Right. If Gozer asks you if you're a god, you say, yes! I was getting those two confused. I was getting too excited about this whole thing.
I really thought you'd go to the theater and take the kids and the whole deal.
It's.
I'm sorry, because you're low in funds because you donated all your money to the Alzheimer's or the Lou Gehrig's disease. So you don't have any money to take your kids to Ghostbusters now. I see how it is.
That's what happens, man. Gotta give.
All right. Well, I'm debating. I'm probably gonna go see it in the theater. I got to do it. It's one of my favorite movies. Got to make it happen.
It's what? It's a good. We talked about this. When Harold Ramis passed, but. Perfect movie from start to finish. It's one of those few that still hold up, stand the test of time. And it's like you would think something made in 1984, the special effects, the graphics would look crap today. It's still pretty good.
Well, that's the beauty of them re-releasing it. They're not altering it in any way. They're just like, here you go. Here's the movie. 30 years old. Didn't change anything about it. There you go. Go enjoy it. It just goes to show Spielberg, Lucas. You don't have to change them, but what do I know? But that's right. Exciting.
They're talking about doing Ghostbusters 3. I mean, they've always been talking about it, but they're talking seriously about it now. And no Ramis, no Murray, no Ivan Reitman. Is that even really Ghostbusters at that point? I mean.
No, I think they call that in the movie business, especially for Aykroyd, that will be his payday. Just making for money, and yeah, I'm sure we'll see it. But all movies now, it's just kind of a little disappointing that money has become the leading factor to our childhood to make anything now. But hey, if we were in their position, we'd be selling out too. So, yeah. Speaking of our childhood, and speaking of your first challenge in your ice bucket thing there, Mr. Belding. So. For people that follow these things, it looks like they're putting together a TV movie, 2-hour unauthorized. What do you call a reenactment or a behind the story, behind the show, much like behind the music?
Yeah. I think it's like a behind the scenes look at. I think they call it the unauthorized biography of it's based on Dustin Diamond's Behind the Bell unauthorized book, which he has since said like, yeah, I embellished it quite a bit. And in fact, I didn't even write most of it. I was just with a ghostwriter and carrying on that way and spending the money. But
you met Dustin Diamond. Screech.
Met Dustin Diamond. We both opened for him.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
I swear you were there.
I didn't do that show.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, well.
Yep.
All right, that's why it sucked.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I went up to him and I said, hey man, I was in the group that opened for you. He's like, oh, cool. You want to buy a script? Well, he didn't say this. He had scripts of Saved by the Bell episodes that he would autograph for you for $20. They weren't the scripts that he used back, late 80s, early 90s to like take notes and stuff like that. He has the PDFs on his computer and he like prints them off, brings them to these appearances, and then signs them and hands them out. It's like, that's not. What good is that? Or you could take a Polaroid with him for $20. I was like, man, this was like right before he I think he did the adult film and everything like that, and the Celebrity Fat Club, and he was hurting for money for sure. But you know what? He's kind of like made to be a villain, a jerk in all of the reality shows that he's done. He was fun. He was a nice guy to me. I mean, he was all right. Dustin Diamond, what's he gonna do? Punch me in the face? No.
No, you opened for him. I mean, Screech. He was doing what, stand-up at that time?
He was doing stand-up, and a lot of it was based on Saved by the Bell. It's like, did you ever notice that Mario Lopez had a permed mullet? Why was that cool? Well,
because it was late 80s and 90s.
Fair point. Permed mullet. Made you think.
Right. All right. So, what are you most exciting to learn about this, about Saved by the Bell, that the behind-the-scenes gossip?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think most of it's going to be pretty fictional. But that being said, I mean, who gets excited about watching a Lifetime movie? Certainly not me ever before.
Is that what it's on?
It's on Lifetime. So I saw this 2-minute trailer for it, and it's like first of all, you press play and it's Belle Biv DeVoe poison, and then they're at a photo shoot and all 6 of them are standing there, and it's like, okay, now let's just get a couple of shots of Zach and Kelly, and so the people playing these, none of them really look the same. The person playing Lark Voorhees kind of looks like her a little bit, and Dustin Diamond looks kind of like him. But so it's got the Zach and Kelly together, and he's tickling her. He's like, stop it, ooh, and then the Lisa Turtle is over the side saying, oh, stop it. Oh, could she be a bigger bitch? Something like she's jealous that Mark Paul Gosselaar, fake Mark Paul Gosselaar, is flirting with fake Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and then fake Elizabeth Berkley / Jesse Spano is like, she knows that you like him, implying that Lark Voorhees likes Mark Paul Gosselaar, and in real life, this is all not their characters, this is all the actors, supposedly, and it's like, oh, she knows you like him, and she's carrying on like this, ugh. And so they're like, okay, now everybody get back, or just the girls. And so the 3 girls are stepping on there, and they're taking pictures, and they're all shoving each other. So that didn't happen. That's garbage. That didn't really happen. But it was it's so cheesy and lame, and I hated every minute of it. Yet I'm so excited to see it, just because I don't know. It's these characters that if somebody did a behind-the-scenes thing of us, and our improv days and stuff like that. And it was totally awful, we would still watch it, right? It was part of our lives.
It'd be awesome. If we could only hire people to do a show about us and our infamous improv years, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
To us. No one else would find it funny at all.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be on Lifetime. That'd be on, the DIY network or something.
It would have to be an unauthorized one, because most of us would deny everything, and Jeff, I think, even denies even being in the group at this point. I don't think that part of his life is even allowed to be spoken at the dinner table, and then half of the other people that we don't even know that have disappeared from the world. It'd be pretty interesting.
We may be the only surviving members. Although I did see Leo. Leo was on something. Maybe it was Leo. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I look forward to checking it out in all its horrific splendor. I have to look into it and see.
It's going to be terrible. It's going to be bad, but you can't not watch it. If it's something that you were so like me, that I was so obsessed with, I've got to check it out, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was always on Saturdays, and because cartoons were on way too early, and then we got older, and then it was like the Saturday morning kind of thing, and they never played in order either. They're always mixed up. They'd be like super young, or they'd be like older, and all that kind of stuff, and then finally you get to go back and watch them on Netflix now, and they're kind of hard to watch, but
some of them are, but some of them remember exactly the way they were. It's like, this is kind of crappy, but I know why I liked it.
Oh yeah, I know exactly why I liked it. I'll go on record on the show tonight and admit that much like probably every boy our age, Tiffany Amber Thiessen was my first TV crush. So just gonna throw that out there.
I liked them all. I liked all three of them. Tori though, can rot in hell because she was terrible.
You hate her. What is it about her that you hated so much? That poor girl did one season, not even a whole season. It was like 3/4 of a season because of contract disputes with the other girls, and you hated her so much.
I hate what she represents. It's insulting
to the viewers that are watching this going that are watching us right now go, what the fuck are these guys even talking about, and all that kind of shit. All right, if you go back and watch our show Circles, we do a scene where Brandon does this monologue, and it's a one shot, almost 5 minutes, never cut away of him just ranting, all in context of the show, but he just throws in this whole bit about Saved by the Bell and about Tori and hating her in her leather jacket just out of nowhere. And it's in the show, and it's hilarious, but it's like...
I think it's episode 3. Yeah.
It is, and it's like your hatred for this fictional character was tremendous.
Well, you know what? Okay, so we all liked Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley, and all of a sudden they were gone. And they don't reference them at all. It's like, what happened to Kelly? Oh no, we'll just have her senior year without her. Zach is this girl he's totally in love with, and Slater's girlfriend he calls Mama for some weird reason, and she's gone. And then all of a sudden there's this new girl with a leather jacket, and she's tough, and everyone's Zach and Slater are fighting over her and stuff. It's like, what was so special about her? Nothing. She was just like, oh, I'm tough. But I'm just kind of sweet. No, but I wear a leather jacket, so I'm kind of... I think they were trying to make her a mix between Joe from The Facts of Life, Joe Polachek, and... surprised I knew that last name, Joe Polachek, played by Nancy McKeon.
Why?
Who dated Michael J. Fox.
Why do you know all this? Who dated who?
Michael J. Fox.
Okay, that's why you know. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. I watched every one of those shows.
It's true.
I don't know. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I can remember the last name of Nancy McKeon's character from 1983's Facts of Life. Theme song sung by Alan Thicke. But anyway, yeah, what the hell, man? Why? It was very confusing, right? Because they're going into their senior year, and all of a sudden it's friggin' Tori and Lisa Turtle, and then 3 guys. It's like, what happened to Kelly? Well, we're not going to talk about her. What happened to Jesse?
Well, according to the storyline, they played it as Jesse and Kelly were still at the school. They were just, at different classes or doing different things because they had other friends, and that was the storyline, is they were just living their lives, doing other stuff, even though this group had been together for the past 4 years, every single day, shared lockers, went to the Max together, had a band together.
Had every single class together.
And this one particular semester they didn't, which kind of happens, It does happen.
It does, but I don't think that they referenced them at all. They didn't even mention their names, did they?
No, but that was in the canon of the show, that was what happened, is they were just in a different part of the school.
I think that's how you justified it to yourself was, oh, well, maybe they just fell out of touch and stuff. That's sad. No,
I have to keep the world together. Now you hate Tori so much, but she wasn't the first girl to come in that wasn't a main girl and have a predominant role.
Well, there's a different Tori.
What about? Well, no. What about the girl that when they had the summer when they all worked at the resort, and then the girl that was the manager, the daughter of the owner of the resort, that Zach hooked up with. How'd you feel about her?
Stacy Carosi, Leah Remini. That I didn't have a problem with because Kelly and Jesse were still there. It's not like they all of a sudden just disappeared and they're not part of the universe at all. It's like, oh, yeah, Zach's meeting up. I mean, there's been plenty of times where he had other girls. He had the girl in the wheelchair. He had some other ones here and there throughout the time. Oh, the homeless girl. Zach picked girls that had different, social problems and stuff.
Zach was always curious about people's lives. He really wanted to get to know different people because he was a rich kid, had a cell phone. He wanted to get to know everyone else. He would sit down and say, "So, what are your dreams? Tell me what you're interested in," and then he would learn about these people.
That's something that weird people do. That's something that.
Well, Zach had powers. Anyone that can freeze time around them and still talk to the third wall or break the third or fourth wall.
Anyone that can get caught drunk driving and then not kicked out of school or have any consequences whatsoever. Superpowers. Yeah. He's like an NFL player.
Speaking of which,
there's NFL players get caught drunk driving. No big deal. We'll suspend you for 2 games. Get caught beating your wife. 1 game, I guess.
Money talks, man. Well, hey, if you beat your wife, do you lose a day of work? You just go to work.
If you get arrested.
Preface this with you don't beat your wife before you answer that question.
Well, I didn't think you were.
Hypothetically
I don't think you were addressing that at me personally. I thought you were saying you as the general you.
As the royal you in the world. If you had a DUI, they wouldn't suspend you a week from work.
They might, depending on where you work. What if you're a teacher?
In the NFL, I mean, that's just your job. So, I mean, what you do outside your job, I mean, it's bad for your public image, but, I mean, it doesn't really affect your job.
Well, think about this. I understand what you're saying. But the NFL just suspended, I think yesterday, a guy from Cleveland for the entire year for marijuana, I think. And the guy from Baltimore who really beat the crap out of his wife, he got suspended for 2 games. So it's like marijuana, not really hurting. I mean, it's illegal. I would say that if you're looking at it from a society perspective, way, way, way different in comparison to beating the crap out of, you're a professional athlete, big dude, beating the crap out of a lady, and that gets you suspended for 2 games, but smoking marijuana the whole season. Yikes. Maybe it's 4 games, I don't know, but what does that say about?
Well, it says that in the NFL's contracts with their players that it states no drug use and you will be tested, and if you are to fail a test, you will be suspended. I think there's a whole lot in there about don't beat your wife.
Maybe there should be. It seems to happen quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm implying here. The NFL needs to sit down and rewrite these contracts and go ahead and throw a clause in there as don't do drugs and don't beat your wife.
Don't beat your wife.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it if you didn't beat your wife. And
by the way, please don't beat your wife.
If you wouldn't mind, in order to get the bonus this year, don't beat your wife.
It would be great for ad revenue if you didn't beat your wife before you're in this commercial.
Let's keep the headlines by doing good on the field, but don't beat your wife. Yeah. But hey, we're not professional athletes. We don't sign these contracts, so I don't know. I'm not married. I don't beat my wife. It's okay.
I don't beat my wife either.
And then I don't do the marijuana. So
I've never smoked marijuana, actually.
I should get around to doing that sometime. Maybe we should get high and do a show.
Then we would be like every other show. We might be the only show that they don't do that on. So
I think maybe that's why our shows kind of suck sometimes, is we're not high. I'm drinking my herbal tea to get me over the sniffles, and we're talking about Saved by the Bell. It's a dynamite show we're putting together tonight.
Dynamite show. I the last show that we did, or 2 shows ago, where all we did was talk about Boy Meets World. By far our most popular show.
Highest rated show.
It's the highest rated. It's got 3 times as many views as the next most popular one, which has been out for like an entire year. This one, like 3 or 4 weeks already, top of the charts. You never know. You never know. People like Saved by the Bell. People like Boy Meets World.
As much as if I was set up to do it, I would do the Ice Bucket Challenge right now and challenge the cast of Saved by the Bell. But I'm not going to. But that'd be a great tie-in for this episode. I hope people will watch this episode all the way through and get to the latter parts here where it actually gets entertaining and we piece it all back together. So that's only hope.
That was a great thing that you just said about like something that you should do but you're not going to. Say, hey, you know what I should do? I should call up Howard Stern and have him on our show. Oh well.
You done? You through? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of things we should do. The whole point was I'm not going to dump Ice Bucket on my head, but if I did, I'd challenge a cast. It'd be kind of funny because the show.
Well, I challenged Mr. Belding.
All right. Well, so you already did it. We'll see if that actually happens.
That's not going to.
Is he still alive?
He is alive, but I called him Mr. Belding, so I can pretty much guarantee he's not going to do that.
Well, maybe he'll do it in character. What's his real name?
His name is Dennis Haskins, and he actually spends a lot of time in Michigan. He's in a lot of the local independent films, so maybe he's got a connection here. Maybe I could get in touch with him and say, hey, Dennis. I like call him Dennis because I bet you a lot of people go up to him and be like, hey, Mr. Belding, and he's kind of sick of that. So if someone came up to him and said Dennis or Mr. Haskins, he'd be like, oh yeah, sure, man. Be on your show and dump bucket on. Oh yeah, for real.
I'm pretty sure he's been out of work so long. If you offered him a ham sandwich, he'd be happy to talk to you for a while.
Oh no, that guy's living it up.
Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
Just cranking out the B movies.
He doesn't. Man, you got Saved by the Bell and Saved by the Bell: The New Class, and he was in the college years once, wasn't he? He did a cameo or something like that. He's got money, I'm sure.
Assuming he's getting back in from that. I mean, do you think he's got a piece of it where the syndication, he gets a little check in the mail?
I think that every year that goes by, it gets less and less and less. But man, still Mr. Belding.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll answer your challenge in character and dump water on his head for a horrible disease that we don't know how to cure, and or maybe he won't. Who knows?
We'll never.
That's it. Yeah, we never know on these things. This is just, I just can't get my energy up. I'm just, maybe I need to dump. Maybe I need to take a cold shower to get my energy up. Does that count? Is that if I do that?
If you have a camera in there, then yeah, probably. I know you've probably got a GoPro in there somewhere. Just
in case.
Yeah, just in case. And I'm not going to take that any further. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On standby, just in case,
Always charging.
Oh, Jesus. Well, all right, so you got a lot to choose from tonight, and if you would like to step up to the plate and, metaphorically speaking, get your bucket of ice water and deliver this for a good cause, Brandon, just the tip of the day. What do you got for me?
Oh, man. All right. That was a well-timed drum roll.
You need another one? You need another to get by some time?
No, it's all right. Yeah, so last week I took a little road trip with a family, and we ended up going to this amusement park. And my son says to me, he's like, "Oh, why are all those guys wearing the same shirt?" And I didn't look back, and I'm like, oh, sometimes when you go to a theme park with a big group of people, you make shirts so that you guys can all stick together. It's usually like a bright color or something. You've seen those people at Cedar Point or Disney World, whatever. They got the shirts and stuff like that. And he's like, but why do they all have the same haircuts? And I look back, and behind, like a couple rows behind us in line, is a bunch of Mennonites. Which, if you don't know what a Mennonite is, it's like Amish light. It's like, I kind of want to be Amish, but I kind of like technology a little bit, or I need it in some capacity. So all of them had like these mustard yellow shirts and overalls and bowl cuts, like straight up bowl cuts, like Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber. And they all look the same. So I was like, Oh, yeah. How do I explain this? Um, so there's people who it's against their religion to. I didn't know how to explain it because I don't really understand it, but um, I don't know. My point being, my first instinct was to mock them, but I don't want to teach. I don't want to teach that to my kids is mocking people, and I just said, that's just part of the way that they live their life. So I was teaching him tolerance in a way, I think, um, in a way that was unintentional, I think. So, hey, moral of the story is, and tip of the day is, uh, don't be a jerk and don't judge people. Very easy target. Oh, they're all dressed. I don't have to worry about them seeing this because they don't get on the internet and watch these shows. But yeah, hey, it's like first instinct is like, oh, let's mock these people and stuff it would have been very easy to say, I don't know why they dress like that. They look like a bunch of dodos or a bunch of dickheads. The right thing to do was, well, some people, that they got a different lifestyle, and that's okay. It wasn't a good tip of the day. I mean, I kind of just went with I kind of just wanted to tell my story about the Mennonites,
It's a very good story, and a way to work it in. So let's weed back through that and say that you taught your children tolerance of other human beings at a very crucial moment at an American fun park when you see a group of people who their religion as a whole is disregarding anything fun, electronic, or anything non-man-made from the core of the earth, and yet they were enjoying the splendors of the amusement park, all dressed the same. So
that's actually good. Is it a religious thing? I know that they're very religious as a result of their culture, but is it faith-based?
Yes, their entire way of living is based on their religion. So they go strictly by the Bible, what they can and cannot have, must create everything themselves. Electricity is not for them, and zippers, they can't wear zippers, only buttons. Snaps are not happening.
I must have missed that part of the Bible where Jonah got on that giant roller coaster.
Yeah, there's a lot of different interpretations. I think they spin that story, Noah's Ark, Jonah and the whale. It's a lot to do with Space Mountain and
yes.
The fun park, the water rides and things like that. Hey, I mean, sometimes you got to set aside religion and have a little fun in life, So
yeah, you know what? Hey, that's a good tip of the day. All different kinds of people, all different kinds of religion. Set it aside and have fun at a water park together, or whatever the occasion may be. Embrace them. I should have told those guys, hey, come on up here, get in this ride with us. We'll ride it together and hold hands, and we'll be together. Unity.
Well, there you go. Then the next time these opportunities come up, you'll be able to continue teaching your children how to be a better human being. So excellent tip of the day, an excellent story. And I picture you explaining to your children as Marty McFly trying to explain stuff to his father and mother, just all confused and a lot of hand on your head and how do I explain this? And that's how I picture you talking.
And I was wearing an orange vest over a denim jacket. It's like, gosh, you know what, man? There's these guys and they've got this time machine, but it's not a DeLorean. It's just a barn, and they just sit there and they bale hay all day. It's crazy.
And it's appropriate that you were wearing the vest because you were at a water park. And hey, my favorite line in any movie, hey kid, did you fall off a boat?
Yeah. Hey, dork here thinks he's gonna drown. Some guy came up to me and said that.
Exactly. And then your son beat him up for you. Oh
yeah. Big time. I try to teach tolerance, but I also teach strike hard, strike first, no mercy, sir.
Oh, now we're starting a whole conversation on another great movie. We'll save that for another time. So it's been a good one. I'll get my energy up for next time. And all you out there doing your ice bucket challenges and all that kind of stuff, more power to you. Raise that money. Make sure you're donating and not just doing the challenge so you can have your video watched a couple hundred times on Facebook. Send the money if that's what you're into. Or save it up till October because it's breast cancer awareness, and we'll have plenty to talk about then, I'm sure. So in the meantime, check out Ghostbusters this weekend and watch Saved by the Bell. Was it Monday? Is that what's going to be on the
Lifetime.
unauthorized thing?
Unauthorized.
All right. Well, good times. All right, I'm going to go pass out now and get over this cold and try to get some sleep in my life.